Welcome back to the Star Trek Critic. Today's animated episode under review is The Magicks of Megastoo, which has the earliest stardate of all the episodes, including the pilot, Where No Man Has Gone Before. The Enterprise is going to the center of the galaxy to search for new stuff being made. Looks like they want to see matter being made, not stars or planets. And here is the first eye of the show. The first point is lost because it really is impossible to get to the center of the galaxy. However, they have found fireworks in space. The next point is lost for a single set of doors on the turbolift. They are now getting pulled in by something and going faster than the ship can travel on its own. Now we get to watch the ship and crew get thrown all over the place. Scotty tries talking to the bridge, but it looks like they've all been thrown around. Their theory is this storm is like a hurricane and it'll be safe if they go to the center of it. For being a Saturday morning cartoon, they really do add great detail to the show. And it looks like their plan works. This is much similar to Star Trek V. They've crossed a great barrier and come to a planet at the center of the galaxy. Now they're at the center of the galaxy, all their instruments have gone blank. A lot like if you're at the North Pole and your compass doesn't work. The next point is lost, since if life support goes out, they will have oxygen for several hours. They're actually more likely to freeze to death. Oh look, it's Mr. Tumnus from Narnia. How did he get there? So Rhadamanthus is a Greek judge of the underworld. That's a sign something bad's gonna happen next. Who is he to call Spock an elf? So he's glad they came. Kirk quotes his favorite Who song, and now he introduces himself as Lucien. And he's glad they came to rollick with him. But I don't think that's what they really came for. The next point is lost because this watermelon planet is not moving. There's never a real explanation why Kirk didn't show up solid. Kirk wants to know why they are here. A young fawn shows up. Then they are transported to something that will make sense to them, a lot like when Q took Janeway to the Continuum. He describes his planet as magic, a lot like Farpoint Station. A weird thing about this planet, since all the women look young and beautiful, they need to get a love potion to catch a man. And Spock uses logic to think this is normal for the center of the galaxy. Kirk wants to know why he keeps calling them friends. So Lucien shows him aliens from the Ship of Lights. The backstory is these creatures went to Earth and were considered wizards and magicians in the past but had to leave. Lucien sings the theme song of his favorite TV show from Earth. Something's up because he tells them they have to go back. There is a cloud around the planet. Notice Kirk and Spock say his name differently because they recorded their voices at different times.
If Lucien put it there, Captain.
So, -1 point. Spock is now engaged in witchcraft.
Yes!
I saw this on Battlestar Galactica too. Spock is really getting into it. Now he's quoting the little engine that could. Why is Spock flashing? -1 point for a planet not moving. So here, if you believe you can, you can. Sulu uses his new power to create a girl. Lieutenant Uhura wishes him luck, but then the girl turns into Lucien, and then we know what happened to Sulu. This is where it all started. This is an interesting special effect. They're in trouble now, that's what that is. The animated series had a lot of special effects, and this turns Enterprise into two pieces, and they go back in time to Salem, Massachusetts. Look closely in the stocks. Eric has 3 holes for his 3 hands. This is a fabricated Salem, so not a time travel episode, and of course, Spock knows exactly what year this is taking place in. Wait a second, is the Enterprise crew on trial for the crimes of humanity? Where did I hear this before? Ed Bishop, who is the voice of Asmodeus, was also on a TV show called UFO and 2001: A Space Odyssey. The people of Megas settled in Salem, Massachusetts and then were burned as witches. Of course, in real history, they were hanged. Shout out to the attention to detail because Eric's has 3 hands and 3 legs. And now they don't really like the Earthlings and fear them even though they're pretty powerful. Sounds like another Star Trek species.
We do not want to hurt you.
That's what they always say. Also take a quick look at Lucien's feet. Spock volunteers to speak and says he's not of Earth, but he is half human. Eric's and possibly a few others aren't human at all. The first witness for the crimes of humanity is the devil. Not a good start. Look close, all three are out of the stocks. This looks like a familiar scene too. The problem with General Order 1 is an example. It also means we have to sit there and do nothing while that civilization fails. The prosecution's evidence is old-fashioned film reels and IBM cards. Look closely, that's Spock in the stock, so minus one more point, because there he is also. The vote goes in favor of the crew, but Lucien is to be banished. Kirk interferes with their planetary politics and just violated General Order Number 1, so minus 1 point. Asmodeus is like, you know he's the devil, right? So Kirk says we aren't going to join you in this, but since this is not his planet, it's not his business to interfere, which is what the Megans were afraid of all along. Spock says, use your new magic. And now the Saturday morning cartoon gets a little weird. Either they are copying Dumbledore versus Voldemort, or Kirk versus Parman in Plato's Stepchildren, or it's just your stereotypical wizard's duel. The battle ends when Kirk outtalks them, which is usually what Picard does. This whole thing was a test, just like what this annoying guy does. Spock uses the word mankind. I just put it there to piss off woke progressives. Asmodeus says they're all welcome now. Lucien says, let's celebrate with a song. Back on the ship, they question if Lucien really was the devil. Spock points out that this time Lucifer was cast out and Kirk brought him back. Of course, it all was a planetary test for the crew. The Magicks of Megas 2, which every other show has copied off of, gets a score of 92%. That's all for now. Thanks for viewing. Be sure to check out my other videos and playlists, and most important of all, click that like button, the share button, and that subscribe button, and I will see you again soon.